My last task or order of business to do today, I still want to look at our pretty kaleidoscopes, is I have to get the rest of these soaps wrapped. These are, look how pretty, yay! These are the confetti, anti-alkanet confetti soaps that we made. I think it was 4 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they came out great. I think I posted a picture. If not, I'll post another picture of them for you. But I mean, look how fun they are. And the purple came out great. It's just so fun. I'm super excited about these. And they are all going to be donations. So I thought maybe you could help me wrap them up. I've got some of them wrapped up, and I was going and wrapping them up, and then I got taken away, got pulled away, had to take care of some business. So I thought, you know what, maybe my soapy friends will hang out with me because I love chit-chatting with my soapy friends while I'm wrapping soap. So sometimes it's on a phone call with other soap makers. Sometimes, you know, I don't know, conversations are a lot more fun than a podcast if you're able, but not to knock podcasts. I love podcasts too. So I'm doing this real quick to show you just one being done, and then I'm going to walk you through and talk to you about why I just did everything that I did. Because I do know a lot, that's another big question that comes up, is how should I wrap my soaps? And see, it's all tucked in and down. So just popping them into a box over here, nothing fancy, just stacking them into a box for donation. Giving them to a local nonprofit that helps abused and battered women that have survived domestic violence. So I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be my first donation like that here in Tucson. I got my pieces of paper. I think this is a 30-pound craft sheet. And I went to a local print shop. They just ordered in a big pallet of it from probably Uline or something, but they cut it to size for me. And the size I had it cut, let me grab a ruler. I think they're 7x7 sheets. But I don't remember. It's a super universal size. I can wrap so many different soaps. Yeah, they're 7x7. So it's a 7x7 square. And the paper is very, very flexible. It creases really well without ripping. Hi, Valerie, for popping in. Hi, Pam. I center my bar on my sheet, and that's important to center it, and you don't want to center it lined up like this. We're not doing American-style wrapping here. This is fukushori, I think is how you say it. I probably mangled that. It's Japanese paper wrapping. And it's really easy. You're just using whatever you're wrapping as a guide to fold the paper. First up, easy, just pull one side over. I always fold this first one away from me, and all the others I fold kind of toward me. I mean, you'll see that's just kind of how I turn the bar. You don't have to hold it down real tight or anything. I mean, you'll figure it out when you start doing it. So I'll turn this one. Now here's the important part, is I'm finding the bottom corner and making a crease. Don't worry about everything else coming out of the crease. Just push it in there. And let me hold that up closer. Now you see how this edge now follows the crease of the bar, and this will work for any kind of shape that you have, as long as your paper is more flexible. So again, finger to make the crease, and then just kind of tucking that stuff up as you fold it over the bar. Again, your crease following the shape of your item that you're wrapping. Now my paper is a little bit too big, and if I let this go, it's just going to be kind of this flippy, flappy flap over here. So I do end up doing that, just folding that in. And you can do, you saw I did the first one, I did it quickly. I did it after I already folded, but I pulled it out so you could see. All right, now for the last part, which you can make your creases first but I tend to not worry about whether or not these are perfectly following. But it did perfectly follow just because I was doing it slower. Oh, that came out pretty nice. So now all I really need to do is stick this one little piece down and we're done. I popped, these are my standard labels. I just pop one of them on and just kind of make sure it's covering up all of those edges. And look, a nice little wrapped bar of soap. And it goes pretty quickly. I was surprised at how quickly wrapping soap went. I'll also show you my labels in a little more detail here. My labels, I get them from, it's online labels, and I have that Maestro, I think it's called, software where you can just like, I drop templates in there. Hold on, it's upside down. There you go. So, you know, the brand name has to be on the label, the item declaration. So what is it? Handmade soap. I put a picture on these just so I know what's in there. I could put a scent, some other descriptive verbiage on there. And I do say the soap is made from coconut, olive, and sunflower seed oils with botanical extracts. I mean, it's not scented, it's nothing else. If there is something I'm kind of worried about, sensitivities, allergies, things like that, I'll put it in there. But notice it's not like an ingredient statement. If it was, it would have to say ingredients and list them all in the order that they exist in the product, all that good stuff. But the important part is down here, the weight, net weight, 4 ounces, and then also in grams. And then my identifier, I have my state, city-state zip on there. And then I have my website on there. So that's all the manufacturing information. That's like the total basics of what's required on a label for a bar of soap. It is not, I'm not claiming, oh, look at that one. Ooh, pretty. I'm not claiming that this is a cosmetic. I am just stating that is a bar of soap. And I was particular about making sure that coconut oil was listed on there because that is a common allergen. I don't know if I know personally anyone that has a coconut allergy, like none of my friends do, but I make tons of soap for people with coconut allergies. And so they really appreciate having all of that listed on all the soap, regardless of whether it's required by law to list the ingredients of your soap. I'm going to have to like keep myself from saying, ooh, look at that, isn't that pretty on every single one of these. These are great. But all of my kind of ramblings on the labeling, you don't have to worry about trying to scroll back and see if, and to catch what I said, you can pop over to the website, and I have an article that I wrote that has those basics, super basics on there, but the most important bit on that article has all the links to Mary Gail's website and her book. Okay, I told myself I wouldn't stop and say, oh, how pretty on every single one. But they are oh so pretty. But she has all of the regulations for packaging soap and cosmetics up on her website and in her book. So definitely grab her book so that way you don't have to think. She did all the thinking for us and put it in some layman's terms. I think she also has label assessments. And that's all for the United States. I know we're not all in the U.S. here, but that's the information that I have because I am in the United States. Now, the difference between soap and a cosmetic, if you were wondering what the heck I'm rambling on with about there, is a cosmetic is something that makes you pretty. It does more than cleans, okay? Soap will clean you, meaning it'll get the dirt off. You went out, played around, you got hot, sweaty, and dirty, and you need a bar of soap, and it is going to get you clean. Stop, that's it. That is what a bar of soap is. The minute you say it does something else, like it moisturizes, or it makes you look pretty. It makes you smell pretty or more attractive, or, you know, any of that type of stuff. It becomes a cosmetic. With cosmetics, the regulations are different, and there's also going to be, there's some legislation happening that's going to change a bit. I do not know all the details on it, so I won't go into those. And the regulation changes are not in effect yet, but the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetics Guild has more information on that. You can go, I think, on their website and find out more kind of as things are happening with that. Okay, so moisturizing makes it a cosmetic. Well, if you're just selling a cosmetic, you have to give more information. And there are a few other restrictions. That's all covered in Mary Gail's book as well. And there's good information up on her website. I should have dropped a link to that for you right in the chat description, but I didn't. It is all up on my article there. All those links for you there. So you can just pop over to my blog, and that's the labeling article that is linked in the description for you. And that has all those links. But anyway, the next thing, one step up from a cosmetic, is a drug. And you definitely want to stay away from any drug claims. A drug, this one still confuses me because technically lip balm is a drug. But there's ways to get around that and to just sell it as a cosmetic. But anyway, a drug means it is intended to treat, cure, or prevent a disease. The reason why a chapstick, I don't say lip balm, it makes your lips shiny. But if you say your lip balm prevents chapped lips, if I remember correctly, I stopped selling lip balm a while ago just because I didn't like making it. It drove me nuts. Lip balm or chapped lips is technically a disease. It's a medical condition. It's not a disease. It's a medical condition. So do be careful on how you're marketing that. Acne is a disease or a condition that could need medical treatment. So yeah, be careful on what you're saying. You can get all of the information from the FDA's website for those of you in the U.S. Those of you in other countries, I'm sure you could drop a comment in the group, and another soap maker from that country will probably know where to look and be able to send you some links to help you out there. I do not know all the regulations across all the countries. But yeah, so you'll be careful about what you're making, or what, even though you think you're selling a bar of soap, and if you say that it does more than cleans you, it can become either a cosmetic or a drug. And I'm bringing all this up, not just because I have something to ramble on about while you watch me wrap my soaps, but also because if you are making a cosmetic, so anything other than a bar of soap that cleans you, you have to follow the cosmetic regulations, which also include what you can use to color your soap. Or sorry, moisturizing cosmetic bar that happens to also clean you just like soap does. Alkanet's not approved. Pretty much most of the colorants we use, they are not approved for cosmetic use in the United States. You definitely cannot use Alkanet to make a pretty mauve lip balm and then sell it in the United States. I mean, you can make whatever you want to make. It's just a matter of what you're going to sell. I know Alkanet root is not approved. Gosh, I don't even think charcoal is an approved colorant for cosmetics in the United States. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But as you can tell from my lack of being able to pull it off the top of my head, I sell my soaps as soaps. Just for that reason. I've never had any customers question or have problems. I do have a lot of customers, like at a market, come up and say, I've got this skin condition or this issue or this happens, that, you know, like maybe they say they have eczema, psoriasis, all those things. First thing I tell them is, you know, make sure to talk to their doctor and use what their doctor recommends. I cannot treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. And then in order to guide them kind of to the right soap, you have to be very particular about it. And what I've settled on is what I think your skin might like. Stop. Just what I think your skin might like. And then show them whatever bar I think their skin might like. So, you know, there's ways to do it. You just have to be careful that you're not misleading them and making them think that your bar soap is going to do magical things and, you know, cure whatever disease. Because you don't know. I mean, another thing is, just because they say they have whatever they've been diagnosed with or they think they've been diagnosed, I mean, did the Google doctor diagnose them? You know, I mean, you just don't know. I'm not saying people are making up skin conditions, but you just don't know. There's so much you don't know about this person that just walked up to you at the market. So anyway, soap is soap. Cosmetics are not soap, although they can clean you like soap. They do more than soap. They do things like moisturize and clean you. And then there are drugs which treat, cure, or prevent any disease. And you could be, I was shocked when I found out all the things that are technically considered a disease or a medical condition, like chapped lips. Yeah, chapped lips, it's a disease. Acne, things like that. So be aware of that when you're getting together all of your great product ideas and all of your marketing ideas for it. I'll go ahead and pull the rest of these bars out for you, just so you can see kind of how fun they are. Look at some of those sides. I'll get the rest of these wrapped up while you go about your day and have some soapy fun. Can't wait to see some more of your photos over in the group. And unless there's any questions or comments on anything, I think that is all for today. All right, soapy friends, thanks for soaping with me again. Until next week.